The Black Sovereign stared up at the hanging cages, momentarily confused. He'd come here for something. Something. Oh yes, he squinted up at the prisoners as they stretched their arms down toward him, begging for mercy, calling his name. The man he was looking for was not among these pathetic people. Why wasn't he there? In a sudden rage, Kevathkul turned from the room and grabbed the nearest guard with one hand, lifting him clear off of the ground.
"Where is the prisoner? Where is Vargas Mountainfist?"
The guard sputtered, moving his mouth as if to speak, but he could make no sound. His partner, still safely on the ground, stepped forward, her eyes downcast. Your Excellency, sir, Vargas Mountainfist was transferred into the Technic-League's custody several days ago." The Sovereign threw the man to the ground, no longer interested in him, and stepped toward the other guard, looming over her, his very physicality an unsubtle threat.
"On whose authority?"
"Yours, Your Excellency. You signed the order. It said you were turning him over to the witch, Rasik."
But he was I wouldn't..."
The Sovereign's rage subsided, and the man seemed to almost shrink into himself. Dark circles surrounded his eyes, and beads of sweat ran down the sides of his face.
"Right. Of course I did. How foolish of me to forget. My myriad duties must have distracted me."
"Shall I contact the League, Your Excellency? I'm sure they would be happy to return him if you've changed your mind." But Kevathkul was already walking away.
No. I turned him over to them for a reason. Back to your posts, both of you."
This is Pot Against the Machine.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Welcome back to Pot Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play that's secretly a job interview and you just bombed it. I'm your host, and here's everybody.
Ouch.
They're never going to let me guard the potato.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Last week on the program, we dealt with fallout from the battle at the Tarnished Tooth, where the Shade brought Kira back from unconsciousness. Kira went over, got a beer, dropped out of a rage, and fell unconscious again. Alwyn and Brixby scoped out that the Shade's glowing eyes might just be magically finding magic that she could see, which was probably not great for everyone. The Shade's minions almost ordered a beer, but then backed off of it. And then the Shade just casually asked Terazi what he wanted. And Terazi wanted to be the very best, like no one ever was. Which was enough to get her interested in potentially working with him. And Kira, unfortunately, since she was unconscious, didn't really have a choice in whether or not she wanted to attend the job interview. She kind of just got carried there. And after that, the party, Alwyn and Brixby presumably tailed the party as they went through the streets of Starfall and brought the conscious Terazi and unconscious Kira to a little house in the industrial district where they woke Kira back up and had a creepy, weird job interview. She asked a bunch of questions about, the lies that the group had been telling and the illusions that they were under. Got Kira and Terazi to reveal their real faces and their real names. And mostly answer some questions vis-a-vis their relationships with those spellcasters who were with them and what they wanted in life. And Terazi said he was pretty interested in the Silver Mount, which seemed to get the Shade's interest, and she said maybe he could get in there soon. Maybe. You never know. Then she made the point of asking if Kira and Terazi would be willing to never see their spellcasting buddies again, which she got kind of non-answers to. A little bit of like, I guess maybe it'd be sad. And then she asked if they'd be willing to kill Brixby and Alwyn if they had to. And, Terazi kind of made it seem like he might be willing to, whereas Kira said no, at which point Kira was dismissed, sent off into the night with her buddy Vlados. She did beat in an arm wrestling contest earlier. And then Kira kind of tried not to leave, but she got chased away by two of the Shades champions, and she was very scared. She ran away like a coward. And Terazi shook the Shade's hand. It looks like he's in business with her. And that's where we are now. So I think we should probably jump back into it with Brixby and Alwyn. You all, I presume, did some at least following of the Shade's retinue over to that side of the city. Kira was kind of trying to make her way towards you, but being circuitous about it so as not to lead the Vlados and his friend to your location. How's it going?
Real mixed. I mean, we know we got what we wanted, but now, like,
At
the
what
dog
cost?
that has caught the proverbial car, we're like, all right, where's this going? So, where we're going is somewhere adjacent to the cake hovel where Kira has recently sequestered herself. Cake automat, bread hovel, automat, whatever the smaller 24-hour outcroppings are. And yeah, I think that's, I don't want to speak for Alwyn, but I believe that is my plan.
Mm-hmm.
And keeping a sharp
Alan
eye.
would stick with Brixby. Yeah.
Assuming that they go to find Kira, if nothing interrupts their path, Sam.
And it doesn't seem like anyone's interrupting Kira. After she got a few blocks away and lost her tail, she seems to have free reign.
Can I it looks like they're gone, yeah? Okay, then yeah, Kira will duck into a cake hovel and order like 6 slices of cake. She's feeling pretty low, and I think when her friends find her, she's like dejectedly eating her last slice of raspberry lemon cake. She's like, hey guys, what's up?
Hey. Look, this is what Terazi wanted. This is what we wanted. We have a very limited amount of time that all of us can communicate. So we need to think about a system or systems where we can reliably get back in touch with Terazi if he's in trouble. I think we need to figure out some sort of something. Dead drop, emergency place to meet, etc.
It sounded like maybe she wanted Terazi to go under the hill or into the mount, the silver one. Maybe we can like stake out there and then find him and recast your spell, and we'll keep talking, and then I can punch that lady in the face.
Yes, this
Speaking
is
of his spell, has it been long enough that it's gone, or
That's
do
what
we
I was
still
just,
have?
That's when I was saying we have a
Yeah.
very limited period of time to have this conversation where we create
Oh,
these. That was
okay,
in
yeah. So you are.
reference to the-
So Terazi is being looped into this conversation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the goal. So,
Okay.
I mean, I can't imagine that from when we left there to the failed job interview to now that more than an hour and a half has elapsed.
Yeah, I don't think
If
it's
you
been the 2 hours, so you've still got a little bit of psychic juice from that recently
Yeah.
refilled cup.
Excellent. Should just think about that juice, psychic juice refill. Yeah. We should think about what those systems should be. All right. So where's our I mean, I think obviously if Terazi is able to get away, he shouldn't run directly to Mockeries, right? So we should have some sort of dedicated place, possibly, that we would meet him at. But how would we know he's in danger? We can stake out and follow them around, which I think is the responsible thing to do. You don't generally just embed somebody and then forget. And it seems like she lives in wherever you were. So I guess we know that, I mean, at least at the moment. I don't know. But
I think, well, I can say this in character. I think we should try to stay close if we can. I don't trust that lady. She wanted me to, she said she was going to make me hurt you. Or, she asked me what I would do if I had to, and I was like,
yeah, I'd be surprised if she actually fully even trusts Terazi at this point. I'd assume he's in danger. She's not unintelligent. She just appears to be comfortable operating with a large degree of risk and or uncertainty, which honestly seems to be a prerequisite of being in the Technic Lake. So...
And Terazi's the one of us that has had the least amount of interactions with other members of the League, so if someone had to stick with her, he is the best choice. He's never even met that Gartone.
Yeah, I mean, you are here, so if you have any feelings about how we could find you, or locate
Terazi,
you,
leave breadcrumbs. Sorry, cake crumbs.
I know I haven't known him super long, but I wonder if Rusty couldn't find me if it came down to it, since he's still at Mockeries.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a power that Rusty has?
No. I think it's more like...
I would assume he has the scent that all dogs have type thing, yeah.
I mean, I have locate creature, right? I can prepare that MF all day, and for that I mean magical fun all day, and cast it over and over and over and locate. I could just locate by creature type, because at this point we've discerned that really you're the only Nagaji around. So...
I thought you couldn't find creature by type. That's specifically the one thing you can't do. Fair.
That is the one thing I can't do.
But
I can be like, it's my friend Terazi. It's true. I lose a level. No. Yeah. So we're not gonna lose him, but it does make me a little nervous. I'm just like, she's just gonna torture him or do something horrific. So. He has also been hitting the Numerian sauce a good deal recently, so it's
2 times.
You're just a hard-boiled detective
that's
just in over his head. A couple wrecked marriages behind you, but you're gonna get through this. Actually, I don't know if you've ever been married, Terazi.
Kira did even mention to the Shade that she'd been chugging those Numerian fluids.
We sure did.
That's true.
So she got some quality intel out of you.
So
Yeah.
we'll hang up the cake hovel and have Rixby do his locate thingy. I guess, yeah, because I don't know what else, how to recast that spell. You have to be physically touching someone to recast that spell, or within a certain distance.
What, the telepathic bond?
Yeah.
30 feet.
Yeah.
Which is
30
the
feet,
idea
okay.
is that if we can find him then we can stay at enough of a distance. I could even approach invisibly and cast it in such a way where we can all get it, and we're strung out at 30-foot intervals.
And I think Kira will say, well, maybe we should try and have Brixby find him so we can get close enough to recast the spell. I think it's going to be too dangerous to leave him behind. And also, what if he doesn't want to be our friend anymore?
I think he still wants to be our friend. I mean, not to speak for you, but I just wonder.
I forgot he's here.
Are you? Does it seem like she sleeps? Like, does she have a bed? And I mean, the most important thing that Terazi could potentially do, although it would be very dangerous, but is there any physical intel in this environment that he's been invited into if she is about to sleep? She reminds me more of the sleep paralysis demon you wake up to. But yeah. I don't know. You're inside of her house, theoretically.
I'm inside of a room. I didn't really get a good look at anything on my way in. I was carrying a chicken person. But if we can find a way to get in contact again, I'll surely have more information then. Just finished my first interview.
Yeah, I mean, the more that you can figure out about the physical perimeter of the place, it looks like Kira was first not only escorted by Gladys, but 2 other flanking individuals. So it looked... Oh,
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no.
I was going to say, Kira got a decent look at least the room and presumably the larger area on her way out. Can I make a retroactive perception check and see, does it look like what kind of space does it look like?
Yeah, you can.
Like residential?
I mean, I don't think you even really need to make a check. It was a pretty small building to the point where the room that you were in probably took up more than half of the footprint. So there's probably just 1 or 2 small rooms on the other side of the house from that other door, which, they didn't seem to be a way to go from one side of the house to the other from inside, which is strange.
But it did seem housey.
It seemed like maybe a converted house, or it is a house, but it's like a weird house because the Shade owns it.
Yeah.
Kira will convey that. It's a house, but it's like a weird house. Full of Beanie Babies.
Oh yeah, the walls are just lined with them.
Teeming.
And the Shade has been very clear not to touch
Using
them.
those instead of installation. Did I say installation instead of insulation?
The R value on those beans is through the roof.
Yeah, I wonder if you just harvested and ate all those beans, if you could get your value back. Maybe what are Beanie Babies stuffed with exactly? Are
I think they're little
Spider
little
eggs.
plastic beads.
I'd like to think that is where the microplastics truly started with our Beanie Babies addiction.
Probably. We're all slowly accumulating Beanie Babies inside our bodies at all times.
Oh no.
And actually, that's what happened with the house that I described in this story that we didn't record, or is probably in the Bloops
Cut
last
for time.
episode. Yeah, so while the party is trying to figure out exactly what to do, the Shade and Terazi are still awkwardly in that room, and the Shade says, well, I think we've had enough excitement for one night. The others will show you where you can sleep. I need to attend to some business, and I will be back early in the morning.
All right. Sorry, I'm not broad. It was fun for a while. Boop. All right.
if you'd like to continue operating in disguise while we are out and about, you will be substantially less conspicuous. Though I suppose no one is likely to give you trouble when traveling with me.
That's fair. Yeah, perhaps I'll keep up the Brad Sona when I'm out on the job.
And the shade will show you over to the other side of the building, which is kind of like a bunkhouse where the 2 remaining champions are, but there's room to sleep. Looks like 6 people. The other 2 guys haven't come back yet. And then the shade herself disappears into the night. She takes her leave.
So, guess tomorrow's my first day.
One of the kids is like, yeah, first day means you got to do all the heavy lifting, rookie.
Nothing I can't handle, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's easy work. It's a cushy position. Is there anything you want to do, or are you going to rest for the night?
I think Terazi, before the bond wears off, would just communicate like, hey, this is a bunkhouse on the other side here. Looks like there's room for 6, but I've only seen the other people, blah, blah, blah. And then he's in the middle of like describing what the beds are made out of and completely wasting the bond time when it wears off. And so then he just realizes after a while he's been thinking to himself. But no, I think Terazi's trying to just play it cool and doesn't want to be like the guy who's like, so how many murders do we normally do? And like just ask a whole lot of questions on the first night. He's just trying to be less conspicuous, as he's already a snake man. And is drawing enough attention to himself. He'll just plan to be the quietish new guy who's gonna observe and comply until he figures out what's going on. Like, hey, when do we get to give those prisoners a hard time? 3 stories below the... Oh.
Yeah, I think that they are not automatically volunteering anything particularly interesting. It'll just be like small talk of the generic guardsman variety, joking around about Terazi's fight, and now that like they thought he was going to lose, but he pulled it out at the last second, which was really impressive. So overall, not super unfriendly compared to how they were acting before, but I'm not terrifically interesting unless you're going to try to sneakily pry them for information somehow.
You got the wrong guy for getting information any way other than perception.
And I don't know exactly how much like these guys particularly would have, because aren't they all people that were kind of recruited the same way as Terazi just was? Like, they're not really, like, tech league people, right?
Yeah, that's the sense you've gotten. Yeah, they don't have tech league badges or anything on them. They appear to be kind of subcontractors that work directly for the Shade, not for the League.
I personally look forward to, in 12 days or so, recovering all of my damage from the fight.
Yeah, is any of those guys like a cleric or a champion or something?
I think the Shade would have given you...
Or, excuse me, we're playing 1A, a paladin.
She would have given you some better healing. She had some pretty good stuff. Yeah, she's got enough spells that she could have healed Terazi up to maximum once she was fairly confident he wasn't going to try to kill her.
He immediately tries to kill... No, thank you.
Goes for the 1v5.
He's fully armored, BB.
Why
now
not?
that he's not down 118 non-lethal.
I wonder how many that would take.
I'm looking at like the average roll of whatever one you're using.
It'd probably take.
Oh, you're actually gonna really roll them?
Yeah,
See how-
it's a solid 4 cure serious. That's serious business.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why I've just started using heal when I have level 6 slots available, because it's actually better in the long run than wasting all of my mid-level slots.
Oh, the Shade's not going to burn a 6th level spell on her newbie. Those are valuable, but she'll throw around the 1, 2, and 3s. All right. I mean, it looks like Terazi's in for the night, separated from the party, because we have a major party splitting operation going here. Is everybody else sleeping at the Mockery again, or what's
Yep.
the plan?
Gotta go back. Someone's got to feed Rusty.
Yeah, it's... Mm-hmm. And potato.
Potato will just eat their souls.
I was gonna say potato definitely feasts on the souls of the dead, or the living, I
Both.
guess. Yeah, the living.
I don't think... Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think potato, like, makes a... Like, cares either way. Just souls are
Yeah,
souls.
if you're going to leave a
Souls.
soul lying around, Potato's going to eat
Souls
it.
for the soul cat.
That's it. Yeah. I don't think Kira sleeps very well, but enough to not be exhausted the next day. Aha.
Okay, so just fatigued.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, are you... How's your health looking? Like, do you
Oh,
need a
right.
top off before you go to
yeah,
sleep?
no, I do, actually. I'm down
Okay.
149.
Yeah, we're gonna sleep for the night anyway, so Alwyn's just gonna hit you with a heal,
Thank you.
which will do 140 and get rid of your fatigued.
Preach. 140.
And when
And
you,
then I can recover the 9 non-lethal overnight, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because you'll get a minimum of your level.
Okay.
When you return, Sans Terazi Mockery definitely looks concerned, and he says, "Did everything go all right?"
Perhaps do well.
Kira very dejected.
We think so. Yep.
We all had something to say.
Yeah. We managed to do the part of the plan where the Shade showed up and wanted to recruit someone. So now we just have to hope that the part of the plan where she doesn't kill the person she recruits also works.
Oh, I hope for all of our sakes that she doesn't decide to kill Terazi. That would be horrible, but hopefully he's actually ingratiated himself to her and we can get something out of this.
I think it's entirely plausible. It seemed that Terazi was pretty confident that he could muscle in amongst the thugs.
Yeah, I think Kira just listens to this, and she's getting like visibly upset until Brixby steps in and then looks at him. He's like, yeah, he's gonna be fine. Terazi's not gonna die. No one else can die. No dying. And then we'll look at Mockery and be like, what? Never mind.
Well, it's... Oh, no.
Did you have something to say?
Me? Oh, it's... I don't want to be mean or offensive, but if I had to choose someone to die, it wouldn't be any of my immediate friends. See, that's why I wasn't
Wow.
gonna say anything.
Yeah. I mean,
You
I
forced it
guess
out of me.
you get what you ask for. Whew,
Yeah,
Tough crowd.
it stings.
right in the feels.
You don't know anything about how often the League sends people into the mountain or who they allow in, do you? Because she said something kind of weird to Kira and Terazi about how if they joined her, they may get into the mountain super soon.
That's an interesting bit of intel, but I don't know of the what their comings and goings look like. I think generally speaking they plan their excursions into the mountain well in advance. It takes a great deal of manpower, almost certainly, because few of the people who go in come back out again. But as I understand it, the rewards have been great for some, at least, who've gone in and come back out again.
And when they go, do they make a big deal of it? Do they announce that they're going? Is there some sort of send-off or a parade, or they just go?
I think they operate on that sort of thing mostly in secret. I think they'd rather people not know what's going on in the mountain, and they'd certainly rather not get any egg on their face should whoever goes in not come back out again.
Oh, we are going to put so much eggs on their face.
I also get the impression that there is a bit of tumult in the league itself, where one's respect and power is proportionate to their ability to range in there, and maybe a precocious potato may wish to improve themselves in their standing amongst the league.
I think you're not far off the mark. I'm not sure if it's specifically a reputational thing, or if the ones who come back with treasures powerful enough to assert a modicum of power over the others. I don't know exactly the ins and outs of it, but certainly the last 2 times leadership has changed, it's fallen to someone who had just emerged from the mountain.
I heard it was a real farewell to arms for Zernabeth. He doesn't exist in this universe. He's in the shackles.
Surrounded by face cats.
6-toed face cats.
He would be too. And, all right, well, we can roll over to the 4th of Neth with the party split overnight. For I think that's a pod first.
No, we were split overnight when Brixby and I got kidnapped by xenomorphs.
All right. Oh, I forgot about the old imprisoned by Zill. So never mind. This is mundane stuff. Compared to incubating alien spawn, this is pretty chill.
Yeah. So the first thing we do in the morning is greater teleport back to whatchamacallit and grab those 2 droids.
First thing in the morning, I gotta give Rusty some delicious goo with an 18 off the die. We're starting the goo train.
Goo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Day 1.
Yeah, this
one
is
success.
day 1 again,
Enjoy
right?
The goo.
Yeah.
It's the last thing. Well, I was gonna say,
How's
his father's
Rusty...
I don't know, shed
sorry.
scales or something had to be part of the ambiance that produced that goo. So.
How's Rusty looking? How do you see him when we came back without Terazi and everything? Is he good or?
He attacked everyone.
Yeah, he just went on a rampage. And Mockery's dead, actually. So Kira got her wish. Oh.
Not a wish. She didn't wish for
No,
it. She just said if it happens, it happens.
She wished specific harm on Mockery.
That's a lie.
Oh, Jeff, how's the big boy doing? He's your character.
I think he does that thing, where someone's at the door and the tail's wagging, and then people come in and it's like, all right, Dad's gonna be the one in next. And then you guys close the door, or in this case a hatch, and it's like, oh, okay. Hey guys. I think he's not in dad's gone depression, just that's weird. Like, I know you guys, and you guys are alright, but like, where's my person? I think when a full, like, 24 hours has gone by, that's gonna probably start to sink in. Not that he has a big time, you know, you go out to throw, you know, put trash in the trash can, and you come back in on dog. He's like, oh my god, that's been gone for 6 years.
I thought you were gone forever.
At the same time, if you all leave and come back again and still isn't back, that's gonna start to wonder, hey, you forgot him, silly goose.
We will start today by attempting to find your dad. I think we can use a little mixture of good old-fashioned reconnaissance and spells, and we'll cast another communication, and hopefully Terazi can get us something useful, or we get them out, provided they want to leave it. They don't love that life now.
Yeah, I mean, he could be completely sold after that few hours. It's always the plan to go in some kind of disguise, like just where you know he is, or are you doing some other kind of tailing operation?
Yeah, I mean, I think using Brix's spell and just kind of staying close but far enough away that she's not going to look in our direction and see us is probably the best thing to do, right?
Yeah.
I feel like tailing, yeah.
I don't mind, like, well, here's the thing. We all don't have to go, for sure. Like, only one of us could go, so that way there's not, like, the three of us there with our glowy magical auras. I mean, granted, she has to focus a little bit to see these things, but there's still at least a cursory burst of magic with the general detect magic and how much, like, fancy stuff we're wearing compared to, like, common people. So maybe only one person initially goes? Unless, like, we're trying to get telepathic bond early on in the day.
I mean,
Does Brixby say that only one person goes? Or are we still...
Yeah, should only one person go, or should we try to get our telepathic bond on early in the day? I mean, I have multiple castings. I've prepared multiple castings today. So.
To which Kira will say, you want us to split up the group even more? I think we should all go, and because they already know that we're glowing, and maybe we can look different or the same. I should maybe not be a chicken anymore, or maybe I should be a chicken because I'll have some sort of street cred.
I wouldn't be a chicken. No, I'd go for something a
okay.
little bit more low-key.
She's a turkey.
Yes, perfect.
She goes the literal
Nature's most
gobbledygook.
undercover animal, the turkey.
Let's go in the episode.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be a slightly different-looking Asimar today. I still got my how to disguise if I need to rely on it, but I sure appreciate the benefit of being an Asimar. So, you know what? Yeah, let's just go see if we can catch them on the way out when they're on their way to, like, croissants and coffee or Pilates or whatever they do as, like, a bonding exercise. And, yeah, try to telepathically bond with them on the way by. Just brandish some eggs.
Well, over at the Shades compound, weirdly, like, everyone in Golarion wakes up for morning at the same time. It's just like a magical thing. It's like everybody has physical alarm clocks, like, implanted under their skin somehow. But the guards or the champions in Terazi, they all get up for the day before the Shade arrives. So, they have to do morning calisthenics and wind sprints and all that good stuff, to get warmed up for your hired muscle kind of day. None of them are spellcasters, so they don't have to do any preparations. I don't know if Terazi does with his various spellcasting traditions.
Yeah, I think he actually does need noise spontaneous caster, which is nice. I guess not. No, quiet meditation for the ranger.
Oh, they totally like make fun of him while he's quietly meditating and like throw balled up paper at his head. Just a little bit of hazing the rookie.
That's fair.
Kira's gonna kill them.
Maybe it's because they're all best friends now.
Yeah, the
Kira doesn't
spinoff.
like Terazi having new friends.
Terazi and the boys.
One of them gives Terazi a bracelet, a friendship bracelet kind of thing with beads that say best friends,
Kira's gonna kill them.
with materials from Fantasy Michaels. The best place for your friendship bracelet needs.
But what about the fabrics? I guess it doesn't matter because Rip Joanne's.
Yeah, what's this
Fantasy
one's
Joanne's
name?
is still open.
Oh, good.
So I know there's Voldus, but who's Terazi's new bestie?
Oh God. Let's see. I know I have more names. Mbaru. Mbaru is Terazi's new best friend.
Dope.
And then eventually in the morning, after, spells have been prepped and exercise has been done and a hearty breakfast consumed, the Shade will show up in the same kind of robes and everything that she was in the day before. And gather everybody up for the day's work. He says, all right, I have been asked by a colleague to try to find a... She thinks for a moment and says, well, I believe I know who I'm trying to find. And she looks pointedly at Terazi, a skilled spellcaster who may have been involved in theft of a high-value object recently. You wouldn't happen to know any such spellcasters, my new friend.
Terazi kind of snorts, if a snake can snort, and say, are you looking for a caster or the item?
The item itself has been located, but the caster remains at large.
He, if it is a he, they can be quite difficult to find if they don't want to be found.
And she cocks her head to the side a little bit, looking at Terazi, and she says, just because I know who stole this particular item does not mean that the other interested parties are going to find out. Do you understand?
I understand.
And then she'll sort of lead the group out and lead you kind of walking through the city, which involves a lot of people kind of like pointedly looking away / trying not to make eye contact with the Shade or any of her members of her retinue, and Terazi included now. Is it Brad at this point?
Oh, it's broad.
Just making sure. But it's kind of at this point, seems like an extended kind of foot patrol, maybe a few stops here and there at businesses during which her enforcers do all of the talking for her, really, and they collect bags of money or other items from various businesses that they visit. But mostly it's walking around. Is anyone following them at this point?
Following Terazi and crew.
Terazi and the gang.
So was there any time to see Terazi before the Shade showed up? Or was Terazi inside until the Shade came?
I think that... Would Terazi have tried to go outside? I don't think the group as a whole would have gone out before the shade got there.
No, I mean, he would have followed the lead of the other dudes, especially Ambaru.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do anything suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Bixby would make it his business to try to get us about 30 feet from Terazi if he can. Wait for a moment where the shade isn't scanning around, right? Maybe as they're getting ready to leave. He'll even whack on an invisibility with the transmutation and everything else. But maybe wait for a point where they appear to be leaving and just try to sprint up and get the cast off in the 6 seconds as a still and silent spell. So, just brandishing my eggs. They know to stay with, at least one of them will stay within 30 feet of me. We can keep our chain.
And can just give me a stealth check for that. I know you're invisible, so it's like a billion infinity.
Yes, that is just moving, not standing still. So that's a 43 while moving.
A billion infinity, just like I said. Right, well, no one obviously clocks Brixby as he sneaks up on the patrol and spends those silent, still 6 seconds invisibly, psychically connecting everybody. So you once again have your connection with Terazi despite his new employment.
Is there a save for that spell?
I think you might be able to exclude yourself from it. I can't imagine that you couldn't. Saving throw, none. But willing creature. So you can not will if you feel like you're worried about the aura.
Yeah, if you choose to be excluded, I think you're just excluded.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I hate to waste your casting, but I think he's pretty nervous about showing up all of a sudden with a new aura. Because Brixby doesn't know that they're looking for you, but Terazi knows
my
that they're
thought
looking
process
for you.
was she left before it wore off last night. But I guess she would have seen you. But at the same time, she would have seen him this morning without it. So unless he could reliably say it came from some sort of item or something. Yeah, no, it's possible. I was banking on the fact that she hadn't seen you and that it would look like a continuous effect to somebody that is covered in continuous effects like they are. But totally fair. You do not have to be part of the telepathic bond. We're just going to do our best to track you then. But we're going to drop pretty far back.
We're going to say so many mean things.
If it was a lower level than like a 5th level wizard spell, it might not be as obvious, but yeah,
No,
I have a feeling it's going to be kind of bright.
Speaking of things like will saves and refusing spells and
Oh boy,
things,
who is it now?
can Kira make me another will save?
Yep.
To Kira.
Will save. That is a 24.
With a
That's a really
20
long pause.
with a 24, everything seems fine. You don't even know that you made a will save.
Okay. So we're just gonna try and follow them, but not invisible.
Yeah, I mean, we have to... We're not going to stay close. We're going to have to stay at, like, locate creature distance. And, we're going to have to stay at, like, locate creature distance, which is, you know, we can drop back 400 feet more. Keep going. So,
Okay.
but...
Works for me.
You can drop back 960
feet.
feet, I think it is.
But yeah, I mean, I think we can. We're not skilled like trackers necessarily. So I don't know if we're working like the 2 behind, 1 in front from classic spy movies, but yeah, I mean, I think that like we honestly just have to do our best to trail him, and then also think of other things that we could be accomplishing at the same time if there are moments that we can't really access him for long periods of time. Yes, it does involve splitting the party more, but I kind of get the feeling that this is, well, I mean, we chose this course of action, so.
I think that like a large chunk of time is this seemingly pretty mundane work that the Shade is doing. It's like she's attending to her responsibilities. At one point during the course of the day, probably after this has been going on for a while, like Terazi hears that boop again, and this time, since she's in slightly more trusted company, she sort of slips into an alley and pulls out a device, and then she just like quietly hisses into it, and there's a voice coming through it from the other side that says something to her. She's very pointedly like trying not to be heard and not to allow the voice that is on the other side be heard. So if Terazi wants to spy, I will need perception checks.
Like the nat 20 I just rolled?
Wow.
For a 41.
Hero.
Nice.
Wow. Well, with a 41, and the Shade appears to be having a conversation with a feminine sounding voice that is accented, and the voice sounds annoyed. Is something along the lines of like trying to find someone or something, and she seems to be impatient with the Shade, and the Shade is apologetic / annoyed in response. But she does the whole thing very quickly, so it's kind of just a quick blurry conversation, and then she tucks the thing away and looks in a way more human than she has, in that like she's visibly annoyed, and that's more of a natural looking reaction than like almost anything you've seen her do. And she like shakes her head and emerges from the alley and says to Terazi, "It really would be helpful for everyone involved if I could have a conversation with that spellcaster."
Before Terazi responds to that, did that voice sound at all familiar to him? Like the person Gartone was talking to? I don't know.
It didn't sound like a voice he's heard before, no.
Okay. Did it sound like a humanoid?
It sounded humanoid, yeah.
Okay. I have no idea.
I mean, you could roll like a knowledge geography or something to try to place the accent, I would say.
Cool. Natural what?
Somewhere that isn't here.
It's a total of a 12.
Yeah, you're confident that it
I
is
think it sounds like Brix's
a
accent.
different country or a different part of Numeria that you haven't been to. Probably wasn't a Yosoki. Or at least not one from Chitterhome.
I didn't hear the words bonds or yampy. Okay.
Yeah, no yampiness.
Terazi would just say, and the last place wait, he's broad now. The last place I saw him was at the Tarnished Tooth.
You have a nasty habit of answering questions without answering them. Do you have any way of finding him or communicating with him now, if you need to?
I do not have a way of communicating with him. No.
Or finding him?
Finding him, let's see. In mundane, I'm a decent tracker. I can See if I can find footprints.
And she narrows her eyes and says, if you were to, say, scream in pain in a public place, might he appear?
I honestly don't know.
We'll consider that for later. For the time being, we'll pursue other methods. I'm not sure that I need your tracking skills right now. And she'll kind of go back to her mobster-esque, but like wizard mobster-esque work going around town. What's going on with the rest of the party where you've been keeping that tractor beam locator on Terazi, but it seems like you're likely far enough away that you can't actually see him.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. I feel like since we've realized we can't put the communication spell on him, that we would probably stay much further away, right?
Yep, I mean, locate creature is also 10 minutes per level, so we're looking at pretty decent.
Now, what's the reaction like
for
when
casting
Brixby tries to cast the telepathic bond and Terazi refuses it?
I think he gets it. I mean, I think that, like, from a meta perspective, again, like, I don't think Brixby necessarily processed that the Shade saw him without his telepathic bond, and that it would be weird. But I think the rat is smarter than the player, so he would have figured it out pretty quickly. That's why he defaulted to the locate creature spell. I was just hoping we could get some words in about, like, what was going on. But yeah, it's too much of a liability considering we're the top of their list. So it totally makes sense. Like, it would have been Terazi's screaming in pain in a public place, almost assuredly, if they had that on them.
Yeah.
So
Kira's much less cool about it, I think. Assuming Brixby... Well, I think Brixby casts a spell. Kira will be able to hear or sense that Terazi's not part of it. And will, like, have to be stopped from, like, going after. Like, something's wrong. He's in trouble. Let's go.
No. It's the Shade can see this, and he seemed to think it was a liability, I imagine. Either she'd seen him without it on, or something else. But it was a calculated decision, and we respect it. This magic can't be cast on the unwilling, and I respect his choice here. I will say, between the three of us, I'm a bit worried. I do feel like he has been reckless lately. And I hope he's okay. That's it.
Kira looks wistfully in the direction that Brixby was looking in, but doesn't say anything else. It's wistful, though. That whist? Hi.
I'd like to think that Brixby can't help but point the entire time. He keeps trying to, like, pull or, like, do anything normal, but, like, for the entire duration of the spell. It's like his tail. I guess he's not an Aasimar. Well, he's an Aasimar, so he doesn't have a tail. So, but you know what I mean. It's like a dowsing rod.
It's weird because he just has a tail blade floating behind him.
I was literally wondering, like, is it just like a butt blade?
It's not polite to ask.
And that's why I
You
wouldn't.
can't just ask someone about their butt blade.
Butt blades are very private things.
But I think that, the fact that this has truly turned into the who's hunting who, it'll be interesting to see what Terazi can get out of them before we inevitably have to kill everybody in that retinue besides Terazi.
How could you even tell which one is which?
It's
They're
true.
all wearing matching bracelets.
They all shave their heads.
Yeah, the real reason she picked Broad over Lightning McFace is just because he looks more like the people she already hired. It's like, well, I gotta keep the theme.
I think the other guards are all going to get tattoos that say dice just for solidarity.
Well, you gotta-
purposes.
Yeah.
It's the same logic behind like any professional ballet company is everyone has to look exactly the same.
You gotta
Lines.
tattoo a couple TMs beside those dice on your arms before those. So they have to pay you. I'm not really sure what the outcome would be there.
Brought to you
Well,
by
you
Tribal
have to-
Lizard folks.
You have to just mail your arms to yourself in that way. Certified mail.
Yeah, in a sealed envelope.
That way you can prove in a court of law that they're your arms. So the other question I have for the party is how long do you keep up this following? Like, are you going to do it through multiple castings of locate creature? Because at 10 minutes a level, you've got a little over 2 hours per casting. And the sort of round...
Four
What
and I have
level
3
spell is
castings for
locate
that.
creature? Okay, it's 4. Darn, I was
Yeah,
hoping it was
no,
going to be 3 because I was going to say then we could extend it. Oh, all the good spells
I'll
are
get
too
another
big
dance.
for that rod.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But yeah, I think like Alwyn at least would be up for just following him until we can't anymore, just because he's
Yeah.
worried about him.
I mean, Brixby isn't necessarily going to like. It's only like if it was. I only envisioned us breaking off if we had telepathic communication. Now we have to stay within some sort of. Because I mean, they could just kill him and leave him somewhere, and we would never know. So, or put him down where Vargas is. So yeah, I think we're going to probably we're going to use locate creature. I think that there's something to be said about if like they're not moving around after a certain period of time, like we're going to try to stake it out.
Yeah, like if we see him go into like a building and they're there for a while, we might not need to recast it right
But,
away
like,
if it
following
goes off
them
in
through
that.
their errands, we're going to do our
moment.
best for at least 6-ish hours.
And it seems that they basically stay on the eastern side of that main drag, so they pretty much stay out of the kill box. Either it's unclear if that's because it's just there's not enough money or not enough interesting things over there or what, but they're definitely more in the moneyed / industrial side of the city, including going up to the rich side. But it's a fairly active day of visiting lots of different places and mostly having the champions have menacing conversations while the Shade stands there and looks scary because she does her best work in silence. But it goes on for quite some time, and I think it exhausts the first casting of locate creature, and then the second one, if you're still tracking her into the early part of the afternoon. Eventually, I think she will work her way up onto the hill and go to the Technic League facility, leading her group over there.
This is what we wanted. So I think once they head inside, that's kind of about where like it was pretty clear that there were other doors, but it seemed like there was a main door. And if we could hang back far enough that it's pretty clear who's coming up and down that hill, then we'll probably chill between the second and third casting of locate creature. And if we don't see them for another 4 hours or something like that, then we would probably cast locate creature, because that would be like a whole heck of a day right there. Looking at 8 hours. So you'd imagine that, there's some desire for them to... I don't know what the Numerian working day is. This doesn't seem like a place where there was a lot of progressive labor law at any point, but... What do y'all think?
Yeah, I think they work long days.
Hanging back.
Yeah, I think Alan would agree with that. Just kind of hang out here, and then after a few hours, if we don't see them leave, cast it again to make sure he's not suddenly in the basement.
And I mean, like, worst comes to worst, if we cast that, then he still remains there for 2 more hours beyond that, being out for 10 hours. I still have my arcane bond, and I could cast another.
Yeah, you can recast. Yeah.
And then I also have... Oh, wait. I have Mage's Lucubration prepared twice. So I could do it 6 times, all told. I could just be a little GPS rat all day. And waste a lot of magic, but... Gotta spy on my boy.
Yeah, so the
Works for me.
Shade will lead her retinue through the wall into the technically compound, and that main gate is the only obvious gate through the wall. So that they go through there and they go into the largest of the buildings within the wall. Really looks like the only building of any substance that is actually not physically attached to the wall, like all the other kind of outbuildings appear to be built into the wall. And she'll lead the way like through into the building, through an entryway, up a set of stairs. Like then there are those extra fancy gearsmen patrolling inside. They're kind of standing at attention, but not actually messing with her or any of you because you're with her. And she leads the way up into the second floor, and then like down into a hallway, and then into a rather small room that is not really built for 6 people, which appears to be a Spartan set of living quarters / lab. And finally, like, she stops there and says, You all will stay here. I need to go have a conversation, Vlados. And she and Vlados leave, and leaving Terazi and the other 3 champions in what appears to be her room.
Get in the bed.
Do it. Sleep in her bed.
Sleep in her bed.
Are you going in the Shade's bed, Jeff?
Absolutely not. My first day on the job? Just, assume, touch everything.
The friendship bracelet is covering up the "What would Kira do" sticker that he had on his gauntlet.
No.
Could I just sense motive when she's like, I need to go attend to something? Like, if that seemed legit. Almost as good as it could get with a 25.
Nice.
Seems like she's really going to attend to something. She didn't sound particularly happy about it.
Okay.
Yeah, she winds up being gone for a pretty substantial amount of time. So there's a lot of guard duty at this point. Seems to just be waiting around for the boss. But after maybe half an hour, like the Shade and Vlados return, and she says, all right, we're going. She'll lead the way out of the facility.
Yeah, Terazi's gonna just, he's following his boss, but he is gonna just try and make mental notes of the layout and such in case, we end up coming back inside to break out an old man or something.
Yeah, so he would have seen, like, in that first room, that main room right inside the entrance, there, like, you guys took stairs up. There are also a set of stairs down right in that same room, and then there's a bunch of closed doors which you didn't go through because the Shade very much was like taking the shortest path to where she needed to go. So you saw, like, this room, the room at the top of the stairs, the hallway beyond that, and then her room at the end of that hallway.
Excellent.
So you've at least got some recon done here.
And any place that you can describe in great detail that isn't warded against it can be greater teleported right into. So.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we just go right to the prisons? Woo!
Yeah, no need for a dice roll on that one.
Actually, I shouldn't say that because Kira would totally be down. If Kira knew that that was an option.
Yeah, she's already gone.
If Kira realized that
Yeah,
Briggs...
luckily, you can't telepathically tell Terazi to try and talk them into going in the prison so we can see it and describe it.
I mean, I saw it in the vision, and I know that it's down there. There's loose enough details that I could pull about it. I mean, they're pretty clear that like you can't just like scry and use teleport, but that's kind of the level of appropriate divination to high level teleportation that I think is legit. But I mean, I don't intend to, spoiler alert, bring us down there right now. So, but Shade's room would be cool. That'd be
Get
fun.
in the bed.
Take their bed.
Yeah.
Yep. They just come in and we're all there.
Looking for me?
Terazi probably noticed that it looked like a pretty uncomfortable bed.
It'd be even more uncomfortable with 4 people in a chainsaw.
Well,
It's almost like she went out of the way to get the worst bed possible.
She is just the worst person.
it's that trap.
She just has a vibe, and she is very dedicated to it. So, yeah, the party camping outside the technically headquarters, you will eventually catch them leaving after, 45 minutes inside, then head back down to the city. And this day of trailing Terazi in his new capacity as one of the Shade's minions continues, but not for us, because I'm going to bed.
I can only see Terazi dressed as a minion now.
Good night, Sam.
That's what we heard of.
Yeah.
Good night, minion Terazi.
Aw.
Yeah.
Good night, minion Terazi.
Terazi in the blue overalls with the goggles.
Aw.
Good night.
Don't sue us. Minions.
Night, Sam.
Famously litigious minions. Right in.
Yeah. Good night,
Right in.
Illumination Entertainment. We love you guys. Don't sue us.
If your minions write it,
If you're minions, right in.
or Gru.
If you're Steve Carell, right in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a fun
So
one.
you can
I
hear
can hear it
as
as the music fades
plays
in.
the entire outro. We just keep going for the entire 45 seconds.
Sometimes you have to.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. Theme Against the Machine was written and performed by our own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review.
Lord,